Waifus, you know them and you love them. Although, maybe on the other hand, you loathe them. Ha! Just kidding. 97% of my audience is male, so only the first two apply here. For some people watching this video, me just saying the word makes you feel warm, fuzzy, and puts a smile on your face. Although, others are probably thinking, oh come on Cap, are you really going to make another full-fledged video on waifus again? The answer to that is obvious, and for anyone wanting to learn the history of waifu archetypes and how they rose to competitive prominence, I implore you to watch the predecessor of this video, Waifu Taps, which can be found in the description or maybe just search it up on YouTube. Moving on, cute waifus are seemingly everywhere now. They're in your beloved anime, video games, animated shows, and of course, your favorite children's trading card game. At this point, waifu cards have become as synonymous with Yu-Gi-Oh! As Dark Magician, Blue Eyes White Dragon, or Exodia. So in this video, I thought I'd take another deep dive in the waifu cards, touch on some origins I missed in the first video, discuss their popularity in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community, and finally why there's not a snowball's chance in hell Konami is going to stop pumping them out like crazy anytime soon. Welcome to Waifu Tax 2, Uvu Boogaloo. You know what, I'm sorry, I know that's cringy. I'm not going to actually make that the real title of this video, I just kind of thought it was funny. But before we jump into the video, a quick thank you to our sponsor. This video is brought to you by the Domain trading card game. Domain is an interesting and unique take on the standard TCG, truly unlike anything you've ever experienced. Domain can be best described as Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist of the Roses meets chess, but played at a fast and thrilling pace. It's exciting, tactical, free of OTKs, and best of all, it's incredibly skill intensive. Just like chess, every game is won by taking out the opponent's king, but unlike chess, Domain is played on a beautiful and vibrant map filled with 6 different terrain types. Terrain affects everything from combat damage to overall stats to how you'll roll out your plan of attack on the enemy. In Domain, you'll get some of the best and most recognizable mechanics of monsters like continuous and trigger effects you've grown to love, just without the agony-inducing pitfalls of FTK, milling, or opponent to stall for time. Domain is 100% free to play, and you'll never need to spend a dime to gain access to its wide variety of powerful and gorgeous cards. Domain features fantastic music, an easy intuitive tutorial, and a fast-growing, passionate, friendly community. Start playing Domain today at enterthedomains.com or check out the link in the description below to check out their community through their Discord. First, for the uninitiated, which means basically anyone completely living under a rock, and those who didn't watch my first video on this topic, Waifu Tax. Waifu decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! Are archetypes where the monsters are almost entirely comprised of females. Since this TCG is based on an anime and manga, it should go without saying that there's also a certain level of fan service to be expected. Translation, the girls are going to be cute and attractive. Heck, maybe the word eye candy could be used. Don't shoot the messenger here, I'm just telling you what waifu cards are in this game. Waifu archetypes date all the way back to the Duel Monsters anime and era, where My Valentine played 2 of the most iconic ones in Harpy Ladies and Amazoness. It's pretty much impossible to miss, but if you look at those themes, you'll notice all female cast, pretty faces, and scantily clad outfits. Check, check, check. Yep, we got ourselves some waifu archetypes here. Initially, waifu archetypes were pretty much just limited to female characters in the anime, like Asuka from GX playing Cyber Angels, or Carly in 5Ds using Fortune Ladies, but then Konami decided to slowly branch out. At the start of the Vrains era, Konami seemed to make a concerted effort to make waifu decks more than just eye candy and actually competitively viable. This led to characters in the Vrains anime, like Aoi Zaizen and Emma Bisho, playing archetypes that would become meta in real-life Yu-Gi-Oh!, such as Trickstar and Altergeist. In addition, Konami put a heavy emphasis on putting waifu archetypes in the new deck-building series of booster packs. Witchcrafter, Dragon Maid, Rika, Evil Twin, Sulfur Chords, all completely brand new waifu themes, unbound to a female anime character. One of these archetypes, Sky Striker, would actually go on to be one of the most successful, competitively speaking, in Yu-Gi-Oh! History. Alright, the uninitiated are caught up. Now we can discuss one of the major reasons Konami made this shift to make waifu decks a far bigger focus over the past few years. Let me first just state for the record, I like thoroughly researching my topics anytime I do these types of videos, but sometimes I do miss stuff, and I'll admit I completely missed this aspect the last time around. To understand Konami's shift to waifus, you first need to understand Japanese idols in ACG and culture, and how in recent years they've become far more mainstream and quite frankly big business. ACGN stands for animation, comic, game, and novel. It's probably a bit of a disservice to simplify it down to just calling it nerd culture, but I think you get the picture. A Japanese idol is an entertainer, usually a singer, but of course there's other types. You can think of this as Japan's version of maybe an American or European pop star. My research found that Japanese idols date all the way back to the 1960s, but the trend and idol culture really started to take off in the 70s when TV and magazines started hosting singing competitions. The 80s were known as the golden age of idols, as those singing competitions started to be moved to primetime TV slots, and many idols were given roles in commercials and were paid to make jingles and songs for television shows. If all of that sounds like the peak of the mountain, don't worry, it's not. In fact, not even close. Today, idol culture in Japan is bigger, more widely spread, and most importantly, more lucrative than ever before. And it's not just limited to the absolute megastars like AKB48, an all-girl Japanese pop singing group that has sold over a ridiculous 60 million records, or Baby Metal, another all-female group, but these ladies do metal rock, and have amassed over 600 million views on YouTube. Now idol culture is so widespread in Japan that pretty much any motivated young adult can enter the industry. It should go without saying, but being an attractive female helps exponentially. And because of today's landscape, it is now completely viable to be a full-time cosplayer or make content professionally as a VTuber. To me, VTubers are like the epitome of fan service. Imagine your favorite cute anime girl. Now take that girl out of that anime or manga and put her into the world of everyday YouTube and Twitch streaming. That's basically what VTubers are. Instead of using their actual selves with facecam, they use animated characters, usually cute anime girls like what I'm sure is on the screen right now. Anyways, over the past 5 years or so, this entertainment medium of cosplayers, VTubers, and idols has grown tremendously, and this has led to a significant rise in merchandise sales and commerce related to these performers. This is how it relates to Yu-Gi-Oh! And more specifically, Konami trying to get a piece of that pie. A decade ago, VTubing didn't really exist, and while cosplayers may have been adored, it wasn't the business opportunity that it is now. To be frank, even if you find this culture weird or cringy, these things are now marketable business avenues that giant corporations are taking advantage of. And while cute girl fan service may have always been a strategy to raise ratings on TV shows and movies, now corporations are realizing that they can do so much more with a little thinking outside the box. Like this somewhat unsettling Louis Vuitton ad that features lightning from Final Fantasy XIII. If ACGN fans all around Japan can notice the culture shift, then we should expect billion-dollar companies like Konami will too. This, I believe, was another key reason that led to so many waifu archetypes premiering in the deck-building packs, as well as the focus on making the female anime archetypes competitively good and thus more appealing to fans. But hey, maybe you're not buying what I'm selling. If you don't believe the rising popularity of Asian idol culture has changed Konami's mentality towards waifus and fan service in the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG, you need look no further than some of Konami's recent booster set and program live streams. These streams are posted on the official Yu-Gi-Oh! OCG YouTube channel and promoted by the official OCG Yu-Gi-Oh! Twitter account. If you've seen one recently, you might notice that Konami has started featuring Anako as part of the panel. Anako, whose name I'm probably butchering right now, and if I am, I apologize, is Japan's most prominent cosplayer. She usually dresses up as popular, cute female cards like Dark Magician Girl or IP Masquerina, as well as post pictures of her dressed up as these Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards on her social media like Instagram. My point is, however, Konami going out and regularly hiring the single biggest cosplayer in all of Japan to promote Yu-Gi-Oh! Shows you that the push waifu archetypes have gotten is definitely not a coincidence, and they're fully aware of what they're doing. I'd also like to point out that in 2016, Anako was reportedly making $9,000 a month. 3 years later in 2019, she was racking in 10 times that each month. This goes to show you just how profitable Japanese idol culture, waifus, and fan service have become in Asia recently. So as much as I'd like to say that this is a meme, it really isn't. And as mentioned earlier, big corporations, Konami included, have taken notice. When it comes to the Yu-Gi-Oh community and its reception of the invasion of waifus, as I said in Waifu Tax, it's been overwhelmingly positive. It's no secret that maybe 95% of Yu-Gi-Oh's player base is male, and textbook anime fan service is going to play well with a predominantly male audience. Yu-Gi-Oh's Waifu Tax is proof of that. Again, for the uninitiated, Waifu Tax in Yu-Gi-Oh refers to a card having an inordinate price or value relative to its usefulness or rarity, just because said card features a cute girl in its artwork. In layman's terms, for Yu-Gi-Oh, cards with cute anime girls on them are inherently worth more because they have cute anime girls on them. I also believe the fact that now so many of them are competitively viable, or at least tailored to be, greatly aided in their reception. I mean, it's all fine and dandy to want to build a deck because you think all the cards are cute, but when that same deck is actually strong enough to help you top a regional or YCS tournament, then duelists are going to fall in love with the theme. See Sky Striker. One of the things that shows the community's fondness for waifu archetypes, beyond outright paying more for the cards, has to be the fan art. More so, how crazy Yu-Gi-Oh fan artists get, specifically with these cards. I'll give you an example. The next deck building booster set is Tactical Masters. As per usual, when first announced, Konami gave us the slightest of sneak peeks for the 3 archetypes. During these tiny sneak peeks, Konami always gives the players art for one of the boss monsters of the theme, as well as a brief description of the theme itself. What you're looking at is the art for the boss monster of the new Labyrinth archetype. At the time of me writing this, January 27th, we have no idea this card's name, stats, effects, mechanic, or even how good she is. However, that in no way stops enthusiastic fan artists like Callie and Karen on Twitter from going ham and drawing all types of lovely art like the one I used for the thumbnail, or like some of the art you're probably seeing on screen right now. By the way, if you want to see more Yu-Gi-Oh fan art like this, go ahead and give Callie a follow on Twitter. The link will be in the description below. Despite us knowing literally nothing about her, there are already dozens of pictures of this new card, and I for one share in the enthusiasm, as she's already risen to my 5th favorite Yu-Gi-Oh card of all time. Would you believe me if I said that I like the color scheme on the card? Of course you wouldn't. To put things into perfect perspective, Tactical Masters was revealed on January 6th, and before the end of that day, there were already about half a dozen fan arts of this card. In the instance of Witchcrafter Madame Vere from Infinity Chasers, I remember vividly that people were posting pictures less than an hour after she was first shown. Take it from someone who generally covers most, if not all, the archetypes in these sets. This type of excited reception only happens to this extent with waifu archetypes. Now that you know how the community feels about waifus and about a major factor that led to the current waifu arc in Yu-Gi-Oh, I'll quickly touch on why this waifu wave won't be stopping anytime soon. It should be obvious, as I've alluded to it throughout the entire video, but the simple answer is, it's good for business. Forget for a second about the waifu tax in Yu-Gi-Oh, which I'm sure Konami is well aware of. VTubing and cosplay have proven over the past 5 years to be big business opportunities and an exponentially growing sector of commerce. See Konami hiring cosplayers to promote Yu-Gi-Oh. Considering they're both pretty much forms of fan service, it makes complete sense for a company like Konami to try to cash in on the trend in any form that they can. For them, it means a consistent stream of fan service, or waifus, in the Yu-Gi-Oh TCG. And by the way, if the logic, evidence, and numbers I provided in this video haven't been enough to sway you, just look at Yu-Gi-Oh Rush Duels. That's right, even they've been infiltrated too. While I don't claim to be any expert in any way on the Rush Duel format, come on now, we both know waifus and fan service when we see it. Deanne Kato going from Yu-Gi-Oh's most iconic sweet old lady to sexy ass prison guard who looks like she's straight out of one of those movies. If you're over 18, you know exactly what those movies are, and if you're under 18, please do not Google them. This should tell you all you need to know about the future of waifus and fan service in the Yu-Gi-Oh TCG. As they say in the world of business, the trend is your friend, so as long as idol culture and fan service stays $1 million industry, expect Konami to keep trying to tap into it in their own way via the Yu-Gi-Oh TCG. And with that, we are at a close to this video. I gave my thoughts, opinions, facts, numbers, and newly 5th favorite card in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And everything else relating to this waifu topic. Let me know yours in the comment section below. Also, what's your favorite waifu card? Thank you for watching as always, and subscribe for more videos just like this one in the future.